Okay, we're back. We got the microphone. Shout out to God because only he could do it. I'm not even really going to do a recap. I'm just going to curse out Dr. Elliot Clayton because what is your problem? So, for those of you who have not seen the episode, this is season 1, episode 5. I do recommend watching it. It's a good episode. But Dr. Elliot Clayton, we gotta we gotta talk. Sophia has a doctor's appointment. She needs attention. I guess she's old. She's not sick. I guess it's just a checkup. But old people, they need to be seen regularly. Young people do too. Schedule your checkup while we're here. Just go ahead and do that. I haven't done mine. We'll both schedule our checkups. But Sophia's doctor has passed away. So she doesn't want to see a doctor. She's giving all these excuses about why she doesn't want to see a doctor, blah, blah, blah. Doesn't matter. Long story short, her new doctor, Dr. Elliot Clayton, enters the building. And he's handsome. He's an older white man. It's not for me, but for for older white women, he's handsome. He's single. He's, new to the city, as Dorothy will point out in just a bit. It's just like, wow, a new eligible bachelor, a catch. So Dorothy and Rose are there with him while he's giving Sophia her checkup. He don't really do much of a checkup. He listens to her heart or whatever, and it's just like, oh, she's good. Like, can you do a thorough workup? Let's get some blood work. Like, hello, this lady has had a stroke. She's got a feeble health history. Let's do the work. But no, he's so focused on Dorothy, and Dorothy's so focused on him. So Dorothy is like, tell me, is Mrs. Clayton around? She got all these questions. And there's no Mrs. Clayton. She asks, have you had a chance to see much of the city? She just gets so, I don't even know. It's transatlantic. She gets just dramatically grandiose sometimes when she's talking to a man, and it sends me, well, not Stanley, but a man. And Dr. Clayton says he hasn't seen much of the city and he would like to go on a date with her. So they're scheduled for a date. Then Blanche walks in and she's in, her cute little green dress. Mind you, I don't think I mentioned this in last week's episode, but she said green is her worst color, but here she is in green. Green is my least favorite color. So you not going to really catch me in green. It looks great on me, but I don't reach for green generally, but they're just me. Maybe other people wear their least favorite color. I don't know. But yeah, she comes in, she stops traffic. And there's a point where Dorothy, Rose, and Sophia are gone. Well, no, okay. This doesn't happen at this moment. Dr. Clayton and Dorothy are going to go on their date. Great. They come back from a date one day, I believe. It's been a couple days since I watched the episode. I'm not going to lie. But they come back from a date. Dorothy, no. He comes to pick her up for a date. I don't know. Either way, Dorothy is out of the room. Blanche is in the room. Sophia and Rose are also out of the room. And Dr. Clayton not only hits on Blanche, sexually harasses her. He grabs her by her waist, pulls her in, telling her, relax. It's all very like call 911 type beat. And she tells him, move, back up. Because she's already done the back and forth with Dorothy where she was like, well, he's meant for me. He should be my man. And she already conceded to Dorothy because Dorothy saw him first. So she's not going to go back on that. But Dorothy doesn't know that. So he feels up Blanche. Blanche punches him. Tells him, get the hell on. Go on about your day. And then he ends up taking Dorothy on that date. Blanche tells Rose what happened. And Rose believes Blanche immediately. And I love that about Rose. Like, yes, girl, sisterhood. And she says, you have to tell Dorothy. Blanche doesn't want to because she lost a good friend and a beau. This is probably my favorite Blanche story in the series. Because she says, I tried to tell a friend one time her boyfriend wanted to see my my tennis skirt from the inside or something like that. And I lost my friend Anderbo. And Rose says, Anderbo? That's right, Anderbo Johnson. So long story short, she lost Anderbo. And you have to watch Rue McClanahan do it because it's hilarious. And Betty White, because it's hilarious. Like, I wouldn't do it justice. And I'm in here by myself, so the back and forth wouldn't work, but hilarious. Long story short, Blanche is not interested in telling Dorothy because yikes. She has negative history with this in the past, which I really believe that Blanche wouldn't steal her friend's man because she has history with her sister stealing her man and she knows how that feels. So she has said, but she's also said the opposite. She said that she's never slept with a married man. We'll get to that episode soon, but she says she's never slept with a married man. She also, in a different episode, says that she has, so I don't know. But Blanche is written the majority of the time to have standards. So I think that's why Rose believes her. And Dorothy doesn't believe her because she's so blinded, because everybody's always calling her hideous. And she finally got a handsome man on her arm. And it's just not, she would rather not believe her friend than lose the handsome man, which Dorothy, I don't know, girl. Actually, I do know. That's not it. That's not it. Especially when the man is trash. If the man were a good man, I mean, still abandoning your good girlfriend, I don't know. But if she were lying, that's one thing. But he is lying. So free yourself. But no, she's so caught up with having this handsome doctor man. And it's just like, girl, ugh. So Blanche is not going to tell Dorothy what happened. It is her intention not to tell Dorothy what happened. She does eventually end up saying what happened. And Dorothy does not believe her. And so now Dorothy is going off because Dorothy got anger management issues. And she calls her a Jezebel, a slut, just immoral, what is it, amoral, sexual beast or something. She calls that woman. She goes off on her. And she says, you'll never be a friend to another woman because you're an amoral, blah, 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 Jezebel. And it's like, hello? All she did was tell you your man is dirty and you cussing her out. And of course, Blanche is like, you're not going to talk to me like that and live in my house. I want you out. And Dorothy is like, okay, cool. I'll find somewhere else to live. And so now they're beefing behind Elliot Clayton. And it's just like, what was his plan? Because he was already going with Dorothy. His plan was to go with Blanche behind Dorothy's back and expect that Blanche wasn't going to say anything because he doesn't know her unless, he's heard word on the curb. He doesn't know who this lady is. He doesn't know her moral character. So what was his plan? Or was he going to try to dump? Was he going to try to dump Dorothy for Blanche? Either way, none of it makes sense. None of it. It's just all ridiculous. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm a little distracted. There's somebody weed whacking outside my window. And it's just like, right now, of all times, right now is when you plan to do that. But anyway, so now they're beefing. And Rose is caught in the middle. Sophia's not really in the middle. Like, it would seem like Sophia would be the one to be like, everybody sit down and quit acting. But she's not. So I don't know. It's Rose's job today. So they go on and Dorothy is still going on dates with Clayton, Dr. Clayton, Elliot, whatever. And it's just like, you haven't sat down and had a conversation with him, looked this man in his eyes and saw he was lying. I'm just not getting it. Or you haven't sat with yourself, laid in bed and thought about it. Oh, wow, you're throwing away a friendship for a man. She just steady going on dates, just enjoying this man. And it's just, I don't know. I don't like it. Dorothy needs to get cussed out and Elliot needs to get cussed out because everybody is just trifling. Those two are trifling. So towards the end of the episode, Rose decides, Sophia told her not to, but hey, told her not to get, involved in this shit. But Rose decides to make Elliot tell the truth. So Elliot comes to pick up Dorothy for a date. And Rose decides to pretend to be sexy to try to get Elliot to hit on her so they could be caught. And it's just like, do you think Dorothy is not going to turn on you too? And now everybody an enemy? Because the way Dorothy is acting and the way she's so nonsensical about this, it gives, she would see Elliot hitting on you or you hitting on Elliot and be like, so both of y'all are dirty. That's what it gives me. But I don't know where anybody's end game was in this show. But she tries to hit on him and he tells her that she's not his type, which, what is your type? Because Blanche and Dorothy are two different types. And I feel like Rose falls in the middle of Blanche and Dorothy, but hey, I don't know. But yeah, she says, you're not my type, but, and he says, he says, you're not my type. She says, but, Blanche was. And Elliot tries to say she's lying. And Rose is like, I actually don't believe that. And then Elliot fesses up and he's like, I apologize to her. And Dorothy is in the background. She hears and she says, but you lied to me. And that's a big issue. But the real issue is, Dorothy, you should have known that your good sister wasn't gonna do you like that. It's just, everybody got on my nerves this episode. Everybody being Elliot and Dorothy. Because y'all are trifling. They actually deserve each other. Because they're both trifling. And they both turned on Blanche. And they both attacked Blanche. Verbally, in Dorothy's case. Physically, in Dr. Clayton's case. Because let's call the police. Let's get this man in jail. And let's get his medical license. Because I know he's doing that with some of his patients. It's just, I don't know. I didn't care for his behavior. And of course we're not supposed to, but when you think about it on a deeper level, like, is he sexually harassing his patients? I'm not loving it. Anyway, really that's the episode. It wasn't much to this episode outside of that storyline. It just, I don't know, Dorothy. Like, you're gonna hear me cape for Dorothy a lot in this show because I feel like they mistreated her a lot. They talked about how quote unquote ugly she was and all this other stuff. So you're gonna hear me cape for her a lot, but she was dead wrong this episode. Like, dead wrong. And Dr. Clayton should have got hit by a bus. Like, all of this is terrible. But anyway, that's my rant about this week. I really didn't feel like trying to do a full recap because there wasn't much to this episode, but I wanted to jump Elliot and Dorothy. So y'all join me in jumping them. And tell me if y'all seen this episode, if y'all like this episode. Just let me know. Like, comment, subscribe, all the things the YouTubers say, and I'll catch y'all in the next one. Bye.